Reading through the works of Karl Marx, I decided to share some of his quotes today. Religious suffering is, at one and the same time, this is what religious suffering is, the expression of real suffering and a protest against real suffering. At the same time, it is an expression of suffering, and at the same time, it is fighting against suffering. Religion is the sigh of the oppressed creature, the heart of a heartless world, and the soul of soulless conditions. It is the opium of the people. Karl Marx went on to say, the abolition, that is to abolish religion, as the illusory happiness of the people, is the demand for their real happiness. To call on them to give up their illusions about their conditions is to call on them to give up a condition that requires illusions. To call on people to give up their illusion about their condition is to call on them to give up a condition that requires illusions. Let me explain this to you. The poverty in Nigeria has created all sorts of illusions, including what God cannot do does not exist. Every day you are singing the song, every day you are joining the life, Nigeria is getting poorer, Nigeria is getting less safe. Every day. Your situation deteriorates because you are believing in an illusion. You go to church every Sunday and roll on the floor, bang your head on the rocks, and still ogunle aye yin o deku. In the whole of Port Harcourt Enugu region, there's only one pediatric cardiologist, but we have 10 churches on every street. To call on the people to give up their illusion about their condition. In Nigeria, your condition is illusory. You have an illusion. You are suffering. You are going into a bus filled. Listen, I used to enter bus when I was a child. I know what it is like. 4 people per bench. Then conductor will never bath 1 year. Go sit down, face you. He goes down for engine, face you. Driver and 2 persons in front. Is that the condition anybody should be traveling? Is that how you travel abroad? When you enter a bus abroad, is that how it is? So inside that, somebody will still tell you that God is blessing him. Oh, God has provided for him. No, that's an illusion. And to call on them to give up the illusion about your condition is to call on them to give up conditions that require illusion. Nigeria as a country requires it. For you to live in this Nigeria, you have to have illusion. Oh. You have to be disillusioned, disoriented. For you to survive in this country, you have to have an illusion, because you cannot face this country with reality. God will do it, God will do it, God will do it. Let me tell you, if you want to give up your illusions about your conditions, you have to demand conditions that do not require illusions. I was reading a story of someone who needed medical care, and because that medical option was not available in the country, they told the person to pray that God can solve it. True story. Because your condition is so bad, you need an illusion. For you to demand removal of the illusion, you must first of all change the condition that warrants illusion. The criticism of religion is therefore in embryo, according to Marx. The criticism of the veil of tears in which religion is the halo. According to Karl Marx, religion is an expression of material realities and economic injustice. Therefore, problems in religion are ultimately problems in society. Religion is not the disease, but merely a symptom. It is used by oppressors to make people feel better about the distress they experience due to being poor and exploited. This is the origin of the comment that religion is the opium of the masses. Through religion, humans project personal characteristics onto nature. They invent gods which they believe have control over nature, and come to believe that the way to manipulate nature is to appease these gods through rituals or sacrifice. Pay your tithe monthly, sacrifice 10% of your income. You'll be able to control your situation. God will make sure you never lack. Amen. I'll take this a little further. According to Karl Marx, one of the main functions of religion is to prevent people making demand for social change by dulling pain of oppression with the following things. The promise, one, very important. The promise of an afterlife gives people something to look forward to. It's easier to put up with misery now and believe an afterlife of eternal bliss is what you have after you pass on. 2, religion makes a virtue out of suffering. Religion makes a virtue out of suffering. What does that mean? It turns suffering into a good thing. What are you looking at so intently? Making it appear as if the poor are more godly than the rich. One of the best illustrations of this is the line in the Bible, "It is easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven." Religion can offer hope of supernatural intervention to solve problems on earth. This makes it pointless for humans to try anything significant to help improve their current situations. And 4, religion can justify the social order of people's position within that order, in line with the Victorian hymn, "All things bright and beautiful. The rich man in his castle, the poor man at his gate. God made them high and lowly and ordered their estate." So 4 main points from Karl Marx. The promise of an afterlife where you enjoy. Religion makes a virtue out of suffering. Suffering is good. Me that I'm poor like this in this boss. As you are seeing me, that man in that Rolls Royce, he's an normal. He stole this, he stole this, he stole this. Then you in the boss, you just finished coming from where you duped somebody of 4,000 naira. But because his own is 40 million and your own is 4,000, you think you are justified. Religion offers hope of the supernatural. That is why the natural never works.